From being nerds to going the largest producer of ice cream in the world, Ben & Jerry's has found a way to do more than just provide us with delectable pints for late-night snacking. Whether it's about what the people behind the firm wants to see in their ice cream or systemic change, Ben & Jerry's has become a voice for the people. But how does an ice cream company go from a small outfit to a major supplier? Is it not something worth knowing? Here is Ben & Jerry's incredible story and what you need to learn from them. Ben & Jerry's is one of the best-known ice cream brands in the world. Ben & Jerry's is a company that has been producing a wide variety of ice cream, frozen yogurt, and sorbet since it was established in 1978. Over the course of the past 40 years, it has been a component of the food industry. Brownie Batter Core, Chunky Monkey, Americone Dream, Phish Food, Strawberry Cheesecake, Cherry Garcia, and Honey Coffee are some of the well-known and unique flavors that this company offers for purchase. Ben & Jerry's is well known for its delectability as well as its velvety smoothness. Almost 1 million pints of ice cream are produced by the company on a daily basis. Now let's get to know the inside story. The Vermont-based ice cream company has been around for a long time, and it has found a way to do more than just make tasty pints that we can eat all at once at midnight. Ben & Jerry's has evolved into a voice for the people. Whether the topic at hand is what the people who run the firm want to see change in the system, or what they want to see reflected in their ice cream. How can a company get from being a little outfit to a major provider in the ice cream industry? Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, who first met in gym class when they were 7th graders on Long Island, founded their very first ice cream business in 1978. This was the beginning of everything. They started their business with an initial investment of $12,000 in a remodeled gas station in Burlington. In a grand scheme of things, that is a trivial matter. At first, Cohen and Greenfield wanted to bring Long Island's famous bagels to the Northeast, but the equipment needed to make bagels is expensive. It has most likely worked out for the best. It's not easy to locate truly nice ice cream in New York, in contrast to the abundance of bagel stores in the city. We may never know how they transitioned from selling bagels to selling ice cream, but we will be externally grateful for it. Ben & Jerry's has quickly become a local favorite in Vermont, and use of their ice cream has spread far and wide. Following 5 years of phenomenal success, Cohen and Greenfield came to the conclusion that it was time to broaden their business. The year 1983 saw the opening of additional scoop shops, but the story doesn't end there. They were also successful in striking a contract to begin selling pints of Ben & Jerry's ice cream in retail stores across the Northeast. This means that customers will no longer have to pack up their vehicles and drive for several hours in order to satisfy their desire for ice cream. Naturally, Cohen and Greenfield put a lot of thinking into their pints, but what exactly that thought remained a mystery. They couldn't just put any old ice cream on the shelf and expect it to survive, so that was out of the question. Have you walked through a store that sells ice cream in this century? It's like walking through a minefield of options. Cohen suffers from a severe instance of a malady known as anosmia, which means he's unable to smell or taste. This affliction eventually becomes Ben & Jerry's distinctive product. One implication of this is that he has never had the opportunity to sample any of the scrumptious flavors that are available at Ben & Jerry's scoop shops, a tragic event under any other label. In addition to this, it signifies that he has to utilize a great deal of originality while putting together different flavors. Cohen bases the composition of his diet on how different foods feel in his tongue, and he applies the same thinking to the pints and flavors available in Ben & Jerry's shops. Here came Ben & Jerry's signature chunks. Thank you, Cohen, and thank you, anosmia. The chocolate chip cookie dough flavor was Ben & Jerry's first offering to be sold in retail locations. This taste is a classic and has been made by virtually every ice cream brand available. But Ben & Jerry's gives it and all of its other flavors its own spin, and it pays off in the end. Ben & Jerry's ice cream becomes popular in Vermont and beyond the state's borders. The company's rivals begin to take note of it. For instance, Häagen-Dazs has begun firing shots in Boston by informing local stores that Ben & Jerry's must be removed from the shelves if they wish to continue selling their own brand. You might believe that Ben & Jerry's will give in, but the firm has made the decision to fight back, much as Mark Wahlberg did in the movie Patriots Day. It begins an advertising campaign directed towards the parent company of Häagen-Dazs, encouraging customers of the ice cream brand to contact Pillsbury and inquire as to what the doughboy is scared of. Folks, we're not exaggerating when we say that this campaign is successful. The two ice cream brands continue to appear on store shelves in peace while Ben & Jerry's continues to flourish as a corporation. Haagen-Dazs concedes and the dispute is resolved in their favor. In 1986, they took their Cow Mobile on the road to distribute free cones in various cities across the country and to increase awareness of their company's brand. Everything is going swimmingly until Ben & Jerry's start driving back to their house, at which point the Cow Mobile bursts into flames. Cohen quipped that it appeared to be the world's largest baked Alaska, which is quite an image and very depressing, but the trek was well worth it in the end. In 1987, after Ben & Jerry's first cross-country trip and the debut of its Cherry Garcia flavor, the company is officially competing with the big dogs in the ice cream game. This milestone was marked by the company's initial excursion across the country. No, I'm dead serious. At that point, Ben & Jerry's had already amassed revenue of $30 million, and its ice cream was distributed across 35 states. Consider how many cones you could purchase with $30 million at your disposal. Ben & Jerry's has made the decision to contribute back to the community, in contrast to other wealthy business owners who may have fled with their fortunes and forgotten about the common people. In the year 1988, the corporation establishes a charitable organization with the purpose of diverting 1% of the funds allocated to the national military budget towards programs that foster peace. Sweet and groovy, darling. That's just the beginning of Ben & Jerry's involvement in many activist causes. In 2005, the company staged a protest against oil drilling in the Arctic by constructing a 900-pound baked Alaska and handing out slices of it on the lawn of the United States Capitol. After Vermont became the fifth state to legalize same-sex marriage in 2009, the firm decided to rebrand its Chubby Hubby flavor to Hubby Hubby to better reflect the new social climate. In 2016, B&J returned to the United States Capitol to distribute pints of Empower Mint ice cream to members of Congress, along with a letter requesting them to begin working to restore the Supreme Court's gutting of the Voting Rights Act in 2013. The letter accompanied the pints of ice cream. Later on in the same year, Cohen and Greenfield were detained during the protests that were part of the Democracy Awakening. The latter demonstrates to people that the investors of Ben & Jerry's are not bluffing and are so much more than clever ice cream titles. When it comes to matters of corporate social responsibility, the business will be light years ahead of its competitors by the year 2020. It only recently issued a statement about white supremacy and police brutality, so folks can continue to implore Ben & Jerry's to stick to ice cream. But you shouldn't hold your breath waiting for them to do so. It's hard to think that this small firm, which Ben & Jerry's founders started in an old petrol station in Vermont, has grown to become what it is today. The company has been selling scoops for the past 44 years, but it hasn't run out of flavor combinations in that time, and we can't wait to see what it comes up with next. So this was the story of Ben & Jerry's and how they saved themselves from bankruptcy. And if you liked today's video, then do check out more videos like this on our channel. Also, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more updates.